In a courtroom bright and bold, Andy marks the stories he told. With a finger pointed high, he's the ace, the reason why. Through objections loud and clear, truth and justice always here. From the witness stand to the judge's chair, and he's ready beyond compare. Andy Marks and Phoenix Wright fight for truth with all his might. Mean of spirit and mind up by his side. Together they'll turn the tide. He's defending the accused, while baby Gumshoe is confused. Solve the case, bring the truth to light with Andy Marks and Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright.
Hopefully this first part isn't too long. Let me see. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be all that long. Okay. Good morning, Max. Yeah. Good morning, sweeties. You don't seem like your your usual sparkling self today. I'm always like this before I go in front of an audience. I'm working it up to it. Tee-hee. Don't get nervous, Maxie. Here, have a glass of milk. Regina! How fabulous! My sweetie pie. My sweetie pie princess. You came to watch my performance today? Of course I did. Mo told me I should come and watch this. Mo said that? So what kind of performance will you put on today? Let me guess, you'll fly at the end? It's not that kind of show. Isn't that right, my sweeties? Huh? I think my sweetie pie doesn't... Yeah, she doesn't seem to realize what's going on, or even where she is. Sorry, guys. Let me try this out. Blueberry muffin with butter. Never go wrong with that. Let me actually wrap this up. I don't want to eat too much more. I feel like eating is actually making me slow down in this case. Well, Max, it looks like it's time to raise the curtain. I'll see you later. Today, I'm just a member of the audience. Fabulous! Enjoy yourself out there. Good luck, Max. You're the best. Regina's different, don't you think? Top of the morning to ya. Excuse me. Top of the morning to ya. Everybody, let's get ready to get stuck in legal limbo. How low can you go? Bo. Top of the morning to you, governor. Top of the morning. Uncle Howdy here. What up, CJ? What'd you think of all the Bray Wyatt stuff? Well, Uncle Howdy Wyatt stuff. That's the ticket. Attacking the day starts with energy in the morning. The early bird gets the worm, but then again, worms lack high brain function. Here, Max, I brought you a present. Have some milk. Oh my! Thanks. How are you today, right? Well, I've got the feeling that today I'm gonna face off against the real culprit. You mean Acro? Huh? You think he did it? Be careful. He's used to putting his life on the line, literally. It's actually cool. WWE and PJ helping me get back into it. Yeah, I think once Raw moves to Netflix, I think that'll like really cement it, in my opinion. He's got guts to spare. If all I've got to worry about is how thin the tightrope is, I'm used to it already. It just means that I won't be able to press him like I can other witnesses. What are you gonna do then, Nick? I guess today we'll just have to do without our usual psychological warfare. Today, we rely on evidence. It's the only way we'll get past Acro and to the truth. You're right, but it's gonna be tough. Anyways, I want you to make sure that Regina sees it all today. It's important. Then she'll finally have to deal with the reality of what happened to her father. You want us to make sure Regina watches? Yes. That's why I brought her here to court today. What's that supposed to mean? She needs to know that when people die, they don't just become stars. I may be an old-fashioned clown, but I end up believing people becoming stars. Move this over a little bit. Kind of cool. Court is now in session for the trial of Maximilian Galactica. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Miss Von Karma, you may proceed with your case. The prosecution would like to revise its previous theory of events. What's the meaning of this? We have discovered a new witness, or shall I say, a new eyewitness. One that saw Maximilian Galactica fly off from the scene of the crime. Order! Order! I had a feeling something like this would come up. Due to this revision, we are now prepared to explain how the defendant flew that night. An explanation that the prosecution will present if the need so arises. In fact, my detectives stayed up all night creating a mock-up of the scene on my orders. Poor gum show. Very well. Please call your witness to the stand. Time to get to work, or shall I say, time to walk the courtroom tightrope. Name and occupation. Ken Dingling, but everyone calls me Acro. I'm employed as an acrobat at the Berry Big Circus. Where were you on the night of the crime? I was in my room that night. If you look at the map, you'll see... If you look at the map, you'll see that the witness's room is near the crime scene. My room is on the 3rd floor. The crime scene is below my window. The night of the crime, the witness saw something quite shocking. Would you tell us what you witnessed? Okay. It was just after 10 p.m. I was resting in my bed. Around that time, I heard a loud thump noise from outside the window. Then a few moments later, I saw someone flying right by my window. I saw Max Galactica, only saw him from behind, but that's who it looked like. Oh, there you go. To be honest, when I saw that, I thought I was dreaming. The witness's testimony matches up exactly like that of the clown. If that's the case, there's very little that the prosecution need add. All that's left is to explain how the defendant disappeared into the sky that night. Before we get that far, I'd like to cross-examine the witness. A foolish choice by a foolish fool who chooses to feel the foolish sadness of a sad fool. A man must know the proper timings for things, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Just like your old friend, Mr. Miles Edgeworth did. Mr. Wright, do you have a problem with the witness's testimony? In the words of Miss Von Karma, may I quote yesterday's proceedings? There's no way that actually happened. Very well. You may proceed with your cross-examination. Let's see. You said that you were resting in bed. One would thus assume that you turned the lights off in your room, correct? That's correct. But there are safety lights around the house outside the lodging house. It's so bright sometimes it makes it hard to sleep. If that's the case, wouldn't it be a good idea to close some curtains? Why is there birds? I never really thought of that. I guess that means I have to buy some curtains. Haha! Sometimes I do make myself useful in these chambers. Ow! The witness will proceed with his testimony. Mr. Potter. Your room is on the 3rd floor, right? Yes. And you said that you were resting in bed? This is correct. But you were still able to hear a sound from outside. I was indeed. Mr. Akko doesn't seem to get results. Maybe something was contradictory in what he just said just now. There's a huge contradiction with that testimony that was just given. If there's a contradiction, then prove it with evidence. She's right. Let's see some evidence. Do you have any evidence to support your claim of a contradiction? Well. Yeah, let me... Let's just... Can you fucking stop? My god. Let's just reload that. So there's someone flung. Saw someone flying right by my window. Too early. I think it was too early. I think I have the right idea, but I think I'm just presenting it too early. Are you sure it was a human being? It could have been a mannequin, or perhaps a large action figure. Well, setting aside the possibility of mannequin, an action figure is plausible. You have no idea to mince words. You have no need to mince words with Mr. Phoenix Wright. Testify to the truth and only the truth, just as if you were there that night. I believe it was a human. Damn, I just strengthened his testimony. I wonder if Akko's statement jives with the facts. There's a huge contradiction with the testimony that was just given. If there's a contradiction, then prove it with evidence. She is right. Let's see some evidence. Do you have any evidence that can support your claim of a contradiction? Take that! This? What in the world is this? Oh. Huh? Okay, yeah. Okay, so I have to, like, really be smart about this, son. Oh, wait a minute. What? Like, that's... Okay, let's press. And you said that you were resting in bed. That is correct, but you were still able to hear a sound from outside. I was indeed pressing action. Okay. Okay, like, he said he heard it just then when he was, like, getting into bed. The fucking murder didn't happen, so it was just after... Whatever. When did you start thinking what you saw wasn't a dream? That's not important. I believe that the prosecution has done a bit of maintenance on the witness's memory. Don't sustain that. I was just at the 10 and I was resting in bed. Around that time I heard a large large thump from the outside window. From outside the window. Okay, stop. Let me see. Maybe? No. This case is starting to get on my nerves. Around that time, I heard a large thump from outside the window. Alright, let me... Your room is on the 3rd floor, right? Yes. And you said that you were resting in bed. That is correct. But you were still able to hear a noise from... You were still able to hear a sound from outside. I was indeed. Pastor doesn't seem to get results. Let me look at the court record. What's the matter, Mr. Wright? Nothing, Your Honor. So I can find a clear contradiction. Should try lightly. Are you sure it was a human being? It could have been a mannequin or perhaps a large action figure. Well, setting aside the possibility of mannequin, an action figure is plausible. You have no need to mince with the word. Okay, so we already went over this. The light in your room was turned off then, right? That's true. I was going to bed after all. Then with the lights off, you were still able to clearly see a human fly by your window. The safety lights lit things up enough for me to see. But honestly, there were only enough light for me to see the silhouette outside my window. It was a person's back, but I couldn't see the white roses on the front. Did you see any of the other symbols? I clearly saw the silk hat as well as the cloak wrapped around his body. I'm convinced that the person I saw was Max Galactica. More impressive than the last results I seem to get. Well, maybe there's something fishy with that last... Maybe? Come on. Trying to think here. Let me see something. Let me see. It's this one right here. Maybe it's not the picture. I think I'm getting ahead of myself. Oh, you know what? The hat was on the ground. And you saw the silhouette. Okay, so I'm getting ahead of myself. I do think it was the bus that he saw. But the hat was on the ground. What? Okay, I have to present the contradiction in the statement. There we go. There we go. Okay. He claims to have seen the exact same thing Mo saw last night. Do you stand by that? What do you mean? The silk hat. What about the silk hat? I saw it on Max's head as he flew by the window. Well, you should have tried looking down out your window that night. That would have been quite difficult considering the state that I'm in. Just looking outside the window was tough enough a challenge for me. That's a shame, because you would have noticed the silk hat found on the scene. That's the ringmaster's hat, right? Afraid not. No matter how you look at this, this is Max's silk hat. Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Are you saying that Max had two silk hats? No. This is a handmade, one-of-a-kind model made only for Maximilian Galactica, which means, Acro, that you've been fibbing on the stand. Order! Order! As always, it looks like someone just had to open their mouth before thinking. Are you okay, Nick? Well, I opened my mouth and now I have to get... Oh, come on, come on, come on! Well, I opened my mouth, now I have to back it up. How about it, Mr. Wright? What would cause this witness to commit perjury in this court? It's obvious that what Acro said... It's obvious that what Acro saw, he didn't actually see because it was a dream. So you plan on writing off the inconvenient facts as nothing but dreams? Maybe you should pinch your cheeks to see if you're actually awake. Ow. Mr. Wright, how about you provide an answer that actually explains things? I mean, why would he hold a code? Why would he hold a grudge against Max, though? Huh? Would Aggro be the real culprit? No. Perhaps it's because Aggro has a grudge against the defendant, which is why he's trying to frame Max. Why me? What did I do? Never get your fat head in the way of my whip when bent on finding justice. Mr. Phoenix Wright, I have no interest in your silly little theories. He has a grudge against the defendant, huh? You wouldn't happen to have proof of that? Well, that's the thing. Is he the fucking culprit? That doesn't make any sense either. Your Honor, on this occasion, the defense accuses Acro himself. On this occasion? Accuses Acro? What in the world are you accusing him of? Obviously, we accuse him of the murder of Mr. Russell Berry. But how would he do that? Mr. Wright, are you serious? Deadly serious, Your Honor. I think your trip to the circus has served you well. You seem to have learned how to try and grab at an audience's hearts and minds. Your Honor, don't allow yourself to be swayed by theatrics. Trying to wow the crowd with smoke and mirrors is the oldest bluff in the book. Really? If you don't believe me, just look at the witness. He's calm enough for it to almost be scary. I mean, I do think that him and his brother probably did this together. He's staying rather calm and collected. Mr. Dingling, do you have any response to the defense's accusation? I don't really know what to say, do I? I mean, it's a perfect alibi. No one would suspect him since he's paraplegic. What do you mean? Everyone, take a good look at me. I can't even stand up by myself, let alone leave the lodging house. That's true. I understand that Mr. Wright is just trying to help his client. He literally said he went to his brother. He literally said he went to the hospital yesterday to see his brother. But to do this by accusing me of a murder of all things? See? Even a sliver of common sense makes it clear the accusation is ludicrous. She's right. Way to pick on the disabled, you heartless, cruel man. Phoenix is a poopy head. See that, Mr. Phoenix Wright? If you're trying to drum up support from the peanut gallery, then that's how you do it. I think that's enough of this little game. I've got a doctor's note to confirm that Acro is unable to stand on his own power. Maybe the defense is planning on making a claim to counter that as well. I can hit the defense now. Acro had an accomplice. He did. Yeah. It's impossible for Acro to be the murderer in this case. If that's the case, then it's natural to consider... It's natural to consider possible accomplices. You don't say. Not good, not good. This isn't going to end well. Don't tell me you think you're going to get off this easy. What? You must have not heard what I just said that sound just now. Maybe it wasn't clear enough. The sound of you falling into your own trap can be hard to notice sometimes. Mr. Wright, it seems as if you won't be stopping at Acro, but we'll be It seems if you won't be stopping at Acro, but we'll be making other accusations. If Agro did not have an accomplice, things are not looking good for you. I understand, Your Honor. Gulp. Very well, let's continue. Who perchance would happen to be Agro's accomplice?
Take that!
You don't say. Uh-oh. This is suddenly looking very, very bad. What? How would it not be? Okay. It's just so obvious for him to be his brother. So... I guess Mo? But Mo seemed... The only other person I can think of is Regina. I honestly thought it was the brother. I mean, it could be Ben, but there hasn't really been a connection between... Yeah, it has to be Regina. Who else would it be? Who else would it fucking be? Is it really Ben? That's just stupid. I don't see how it's not his brother. And they're just lying about it. So it's not Mo, it's not Regina. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? I guess Ben. You know what, for shits and giggles, I have an idea. Shits and giggles. Yeah. I don't see who else it could be. So it's not Ben. It's not Regina. Why would it be Russell? Oh, maybe... No, why would it be Max? Yeah, that makes no sense. No, please, do your thing. Oh my god, almost saved in front of... Almost loaded the wrong case. That would have pissed me off. I mean... I feel like he would have an accomplice. Did I just answer wrong then? Yeah, I mean, like, I guess he just doesn't have an accomplice. Oh no, what the fuck? Do you have any proof that this person you've accused was indeed an accomplice? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, fuck. Okay. Mr. Wright. Okay. Something's going on here. I think I got this wrong. Who perchance would happen to be Acro's accomplice? Let's try Bat. You don't say. Uh-oh, this is something looking very bad. Then some of you are gonna get off that easy. What? What a splendid accomplice. I'm sure this accusation is built on a solid foundation. Yes, Mr. Wright. Do you have any proof that the person you've accused was indeed an accomplice? Okay, yeah, I don't think there's any actually getting out of this. Yeah, figured. I saved too early. It's too late. Guess he didn't. I just figured that he did. I guess we don't have the evidence to say he had an accomplice, so we can't really say that. It's kind of annoying, but like... Now then, this must be when you get to hear the name of the mysterious accomplice. Not this time, Miss Von Karma. What? Just... You're not going to sucker me into this one. You blobbing on about, Mr. Wright? Mr. Wright? There was no accomplice. Acro planned and committed the murder all by himself. How the fuck would he do that? Order! Order! What the? What are you getting at? Way to keep them on their toes, Nick. Now I'm gonna have to prove how all of it fits together. I have to show you how Acro murdered Russell Berry. Can you do it, Nick? Can you really do that? I know that I can do, but I can't stop now. I have to. If I stop attacking, I'm doomed. All right, let's do it. All right, Mr. Phoenix Wright. If this witness is the killer, then this eyewitness account is all lies, right? Mr. Wright, I'd like you to clear something up for me. When the crime was committed, exactly where was Mr. Dingling? We can't leave his room, so... He was obviously here the entire time. That's Acro's room. Pretty simple, eh? Acro wasn't able to leave that lodging house by himself. In that case, there can only be one correct answer. Acro didn't leave his room to kill the ringmaster. What are you nuts? Excuse me. What say you, Mr. Dingling? It's an interesting theory. I didn't think this guy would be the killer. If this guy is the killer. That's it. Considering that what you propose is impossible, yes, that's it. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. As the witness has stated, your assertion is impossible. As he is in a wheelchair, there's no way he could go to the scene or be the killer. You got a point. It seems you've forgotten once again, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The defendant was clearly spotted at the scene of the crime. That's true. Most of that he saw Max, didn't he? It's his brother. But Maya, it's still impossible for humans to fly. Do you mind if I ask you a question, Mr. Wright? What is it? I understand some of your logic. However, how do you think that I killed him? If I can't leave my room, I obviously couldn't wear Max's costume. How did he do it? That's the next course of the legal buffet. Be careful, Nick. If you mess up here... She's right. I can't mess up here. I've got to give this one serious thought. I think it's the statue that's missing. Because I think that would explain the whole bang, too. I'm sure Acro killed the ringmaster. And if he did it while he was in his room... He did it in his room while he was no doubt about it. Time to enlighten us on how Mr. Dingling committed the crime, Mr. Wright. I'm gonna present some evidence. So what did Mr. Dingling use to commit the crime of murder against Mr. Berry? I think it's the picture. Picture of the bust. What's that? A picture? It is indeed. The problem is with the item. The problem is with the item that's shown in the picture. The bust? It's quite a large bust, and because it's large size, it's also very, very heavy. Heavy? Heavy enough to guarantee a certain death, especially if it was dropped from a third-story window. Ah! Uh-oh. See? This is how Acro was able to kill the Ringmaster, with the force of gravity and Maximilian Galactica's ample bust. Order! Order! Excuse me. So you're saying that the bust fell onto the Ringmaster? A rather simple crime. Even if you snuck in a wheelchair, it would be incredibly easy to commit. How could you possibly wheel a wheelchair with something so heavy it's impossible? Well, Acro is an acrobat. He should have more than enough upper body strength to carry something like the bust. Mr. Dingling, how do you respond to these charges? Well, Acro's at a loss for words. He should be. He knows I'm getting close to the truth. I still don't think it's him. Well, Acro. Oh. I'd watch what you say if I were you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? Your Honor, the physical health of the witness is material to this case. I demand that we get proper testimony from the witness himself. Testimony, you say? Von Karma. She's using this testimony as a ruse to stall for time. This is absolutely no need for such testimony. The defense has its version of the murder. The prosecution has the right to respond. The defense's objection is overruled. Why can't he see things my way once in a while? Mr. Dingling, I'm sorry, but we need you to testify about your physical condition. If you have any doubts about your ability to testify, we could request expert testimony. The witness will have no problems. However, let's all be respectful towards him. Thank you. This woman will sink to any low to win a case. I suppose I could have listed something like the I suppose I could have lifted something the size of that bust. I have a strong upper body from working as an acrobat, and only my legs were injured. However, lifting the bust and looking out of the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the Ringmaster's head. Thus, it'd be unrealistic for me to drop the bus on him, don't you think? It's kind of a good point. Kinda hate that. I have no doubts in regards to this witness's testimony. It was impossible for him to lift the bus and stick himself out far enough to look. Not to mention that he could not have known the location of the ringmaster's head. A single false step would have led to even more serious injuries. That's what I was thinking. What is your opinion on the matter, Mr. Wright? My opinion is I need a fucking new controller. I'd still like to proceed with my cross-examination. You're simply stalling. It's shameful, really. I can't let her get to me. Gotta focus. And why is that? Because if I were to do that, I'd end up falling out the window myself. I still haven't gotten much feeling back in my legs yet. So you couldn't have thrown the bus out the window? How long do you think your recovery will take? You have to remember that my nerves were severely damaged. Currently undergoing some extremely intensive rehabilitation, but still going to take a while before I'm back to 100%. Let me remind you of another very important point. If the witness was carrying the bus, he will not be able to see out below the window. Why do you say it would be impossible? Allow me to explain. You accept that if I was carrying a bus, I couldn't see out below the window. Thus, there's no way that I would know the location of the ringmaster's head. Well, I suppose you've got a point. Hey, Nick. Huh. What if you turn things around? Maybe if you think of it sort of like this. If he knew the location of the ringmaster's head, then he could drop the bus. That does make sense. If only I could prove that somehow. The acro knew the location of the ringmaster's head without looking down. I think I've already explained things sufficiently. Oh? Let me try something. Getting ahead of myself. What up, Steve? Late, but here. Yeah, we're gonna try and finish the case today. Yep, the box, yep. Acro. You didn't really need to lean out the window, did you? What are you driving at, Mr. Wright? You already knew ahead of time where the ringmaster's head was going to be. Andy's Randy's 44. Andy's favorite music genre is a toss-up between metal and R&B, with pop punk coming in a close third. Quite precisely, I may add. You're silly hinting at these things. Your silly hinting at things is pointless, Mr. Wright. Enough stalling. How about you show us some evidence? But I did such a good job hinting. Yes, yes, hurry and explain things, Mr. Wright. Maybe you should take a look at this. The key point here is the wooden box. The same wooden box that the victim was excuse me, the same wooden box that the victim was hunched over? The same. The question is, who placed the wooden box here? Who? When Ben and company saw the ringmaster, they didn't see him holding the box. Excuse me. When Ben and company saw the ringmaster, they didn't see him holding the box. Which means that the wooden box was already placed at the scene of the crime. I have to admit that your theory makes a lot of sense. The moment that the bus came falling down was the exact moment that the ringmaster lifted up this wooden box. Which means that the answer to all these questions is now crystal clear. You mean... If the bus were to fall upon... Love fucking stick drifts. I've had this controller for less than a year. If the bus were to fall upon the point marked by the wooden box, there'd be no way that I could miss the head of the victim. No. Order! 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 This is unbelievable! Finally, these loose ends are starting to tie themselves up. Now I just need to keep going. There's only one way to go from here forward. It doesn't seem... I don't know. Like, I guess we'll see, but like, I don't see how... Like, I don't get the motive. Like, what's the motive for killing the ringmaster? So the next question I have is, who placed that wooden box at the scene? It was Mr. Dingling, of course. He connected it to a rope, and then all you had to do was lower it down. Allow me to whipsin. Oh my god. The ringmaster's head could have been anywhere when he lifted the box. That's why the box was so specifically made. Specifically made? Specifically made? Indeed. It had the most peculiar feature. Do you recall what was inside the wooden box? There was only a small bottle of pepper, wasn't there? Get on with it. Well. What's the matter? Can't out your tongue? Oh. Sure. Just do what you want, controller. Fine with me. Not throwing out too many big words. So, for how long you've been awake? Oh yeah. Order, order, order! This is unbelievable! Okay, we already did all this. Let me look at this box again. Oh, the strong lock, yeah. Oh. I guess the weight of the box? Or the size? I don't fucking know. The box was a remarkable size. Size? Exactly. I think you could tell from the picture that the wooden box was very large. To lift it up, one would have been required to squat, meaning that one would have to have taken up both arms, right? Moreover, the box is quite heavy. It weighs in the neighborhood of 20 pounds. The box also is carrying handles on either side, doesn't it? That is correct. To lift up the box, you'd have to squat down. Which means that no matter who you are, your head would be approximately the same place. Fool! He's so calm. Does he even bother to listen to me anymore? I've heard what you've had to say. I must admit, I'm shocked that your I must admit, I'm shocked at your imaginative skills. Excuse me. You! Did you do it? Did you place this wooden box in the plaza? Mr. Wright may have a vivid imagination, but I could have never have done what he's proposing. What? Mr. Wright, do you recall the original location of Max's bust? I remember. Then what happened to it? I'd like you to remember one important fact, Mr. Wright. I cannot possibly leave the lodging house by myself. Ah, that means... You understand what I mean, don't you? I may very well have been able to drop the bus from my room. However, how would I have gotten the bus from the cafeteria to my room? You see, Mr. Phoenix Wright, explain that. Don't forget, you said there was no accomplice. Tell us exactly how the witness would have carried the bus from the cafeteria. Yep, we definitely have a problem here. But this is no place to get perplexed. I've got to get my wits about me and prove how things will happen once and for all. Alright, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Here's your explanation. How did a witness get the bus from the cafeteria to his room? Not the fucking monkey. I'm gonna say Regina. Here's the evidence that proves how you carried it. What do you think about this evidence, Miss Bonkarma? What do you think about this evidence, witness? What do you think about this evidence, Mr. Wright? Oh, that's not the right answer. You know what, let's just... Yeah. Okay, so... Like, it has to be a person, right? It can't be, like, actual, like, piece of evidence. How did the witness get the bus from the cafeteria to his room? I don't think it would be the note. Okay, it's definitely not it. Who else would it be? Okay, so like... It's obviously somebody. Is it his brother? Are we prepared to start talking about his brother now? No, screw it. Let's do it. What? I am having such a fucking brain fart. Is it the fucking monkey? The monkey can't be that goddamn strong. You know what? Maybe it is a monkey. You know what? I'm gonna say the monkey. It's unrealistic, but... Actually, yeah, there was a tuba in his goddamn room. It's the fucking monkey. Yeah, it was the fucking monkey. I forgot there was a giant-ass tuba in the damn room. A monkey? Everyone knows money. He loves shiny objects of any size. Oh, like when he stole the ventriloquist string. So are you saying that the witness had the monkey steal the bust? Of course he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it on his own, and then brought it back home. Home? Monkey lives in Acro's room. Acro's room? But the bust was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny. Maybe you should put the whip down sometimes and read the court record. My, those are some very nice cards he's holding. And they are made with platinum, which is very shiny. Gwah! Acro? Money is a strong monkey, right? It'd be easy for him to bring the bus back to your room. If he wasn't able to handle that himself, I'd be in the market for a new roommate. Order! Order! I said order! Miss Von Karma? Where is the bus in question at the moment? I don't know. We're searching for it as we speak. This is a rather strange turn of events. But let's say the monkey had not stolen the bus. What would have happened then? Well, in that event, something else would have been used as a murder weapon. Wait. Then you mean that this bus was the murder weapon by accident? It's possible. Maybe Acro saw Money's mountain of stolen goods and thought to use one of them. Anyways, I think we've more than proven one critical fact. Namely, that it was entirely possible that Acro was a murderer. Moron! Mr. Wright's argument was circular. I'm still a bit dizzy, however. His argument does hold water. There's no denying that. Don't seem so flamboozled, especially by this fraud of an attorney. Fraud? You've forgotten the absolute most important thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And what is that? You should know. You forgot that your fraud of the magical client was spotted at the crime scene. Ah! There's no reason to doubt the clone's testimony. That's true. How do you respond to that, Mr. Wright? Nick, don't let her beat you now. I won't. This is my last chance to turn this around. When the murder occurred, there were two people on the scene of the crime. One was the victim, Russell Berry, and the other was the murderer himself. Answer this, only this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. He was the murderer the clown saw. Okay, like, so his brother's just not involved in this? There's just no way. Is it Regina? Doesn't feel like Regina, though. Yeah. Maybe Ben? Who the fuck? Oh. I mean, it can't be Max. Unless Max wants to go, like, look for him after, but, like... Is it Mo? Yeah, I don't know why I even tried with that. Oh, wait a minute. No, never mind. So it's not Ben. It's not Regina. Oh, it was Russell. Wasn't Russell dressed as him? I'm having such a brain fart. When the murder occurred, there were two people at the crime scene. One was the victim, Russell Berry, and the other was the murderer himself. Answer this. Only this. Who was the murderer the clown saw? I'm having such a fucking brain fart. Who am I missing? There were two people at the crime scene. Could it... But how the fuck would he have gotten down there? No, because he dropped the thing. Yeah, it would have been funny, right? It's not a person. No, but the only other thing I could think of would be the bus, but the bus was used to murder him. Who would it be then? Or what would it be? The monkey? No way they dress the monkey as a... No. Because how would... It's the bus? But how would it be the bus if that was a murder weapon? Oh, duh! Ask who was the other person that Max saw on the scene. The evidence has nothing to do with the question. That's why it looked like him. Oh, contrary, mon frere. It does indeed have something to do with the question. Most said that he saw Max's silhouette. I thought that was too on the nose. But he did not actually see the man himself. It wasn't a human being he saw. I didn't think the evidence would also be the fucking... I didn't think the evidence would also be the fucking quote-unquote murderer. How is that possible? It's simple, really. What Mo actually saw was Max's bust. Dang, still going? Yeah, I just want to finish this case today. Is the money the murderer? What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain at all in this case? The silhouette he saw was wearing a cloak. There was no reason why you couldn't attach a cloak to the bust. It would be easy to hang one off the cards in the bust's hand. Idiot. Who in their right mind will put a cloak on a bust? It doesn't matter who put it on the bust. Just wait a minute now, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? That question is of the utmost importance to this case. Don't you agree? Who put the cloak on the bus? Nope, you caught me. Let's have it, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bus? I mean, probably Acro, right?
Take that!
No. Just based off of like how she's reacting. That money would be a funny murder, though.
Take that!
No. Maybe Regina. Dude, I'm having such a fucking I'm having a tough time with all these questions. We have no evidence to suggest anybody put it on the fucking bus. Oh, maybe Russell. Yeah. Fool him. You're saying he was a victim? You're saying he was a victim himself? Russell Berry? That's what I'm saying. You mean that the victim himself placed a cloak on the bus? Placed a cloak isn't really the right way of putting it. So what would you say would be the right way to putting it, Mr. Wright? Explain yourself. Nick, do you really have a handle on all this? I'm fine, Maya. I'm finally putting in all the pieces together. There's really only one picture I can paint anyways. Alright. So you want to know what really happened that night? Let's take a step back in time. Acro used a rope to lower the wooden box onto the scene. Then he attached the rope to the bus and dangled the bus out of his bedroom window directly above the wooden box. At the same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room and went to the scene. Of course, at the time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume. Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night. But just as he feared, he was spotted at the entrance at the lodging house by none other than the ventriloquist and his puppet, Benitrillo. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over to lift the wooden box. And that's when Acro took his chance and released the rope. Now, this is where the magic happens. At the very instant that the bus hit the victim... Oh! What? What? That is... What? Oh my god. You wait just a second there, Mr. Phoenix Wright. As such, as much as you try, as much as you scheme, this can't be true. It can't be. It's still a little early to be getting so upset, Miss Von Karma. This circus isn't over yet. What? The impact of the bus on the victim threw the cloak up, which snagged onto the bus. That impact also caused the sound of a certain witness heard, prompting him to take a look. That witness was, of course, Lawrence Mo Curls, the clown. When Mo looked out the window, the cloak had already been snagged onto the bus. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling up the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea Mo saw the bus being raised with the cloak dangling on it. Primarily because in his wheelchair he couldn't see out of his window, so he just kept pulling the bus up. And that is how the magical murderer disappearing into the sky came to be. I hate this. So, you see, the only person who could have pulled this off is the only person who was able to draw out the murder weapon from above the crime scene. Acro, it can only have been you. Acro's been playing mind games with us all, with all of us. He sure has. But he has to come to the end of his rope now. So, what now? You graced us with a rather long-winded tale. But do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true? Evidence? In this court, only two things matter: the power of evidence and the power of my whip. Don't forget the power of my gavel as well. Mr. Wright, the prosecution brings up a good point. Can we see some evidence? Nick, they say they want evidence. I just explained how there can only be one possible murder method, but there is still something unusual about Mo's eyewitness account. Unusual? A contradiction, actually. Okay then, use that and get out of this jam. That's enough talking amongst yourselves. Proceed, Mr. Wright. Present some evidence that the court that backs your claims. I want hard proof that you have unraveled the trick to this magic case. I think it might be the poster. The problem is Max's three symbols. You know, the silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses. Those symbols have a problem. Were a problem numerous times during yesterday's proceedings. And yesterday there were two contradictions in most testimony. The silk hat was one. The white roses were the other. But the theory I just presented explains all of these contradictions. You fool. Do you ever shut up? The silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. However, remember what Mo said yesterday. He testified that the criminal he saw fleeing the scene was wearing a silk hat. There's only one explanation for that. The silk hat that Mo saw was actually the bust's. Makes sense. If you look at it that way, then he did see the silk hat, well, sort of. Fine, you got that one. What about the other contradiction? The other contradiction? Remember what that ventriloquist said in court? He said that he witnessed the white roses on Max's chest that night. But the clown's testimony doesn't match. The clown said that there were no white roses. Oh, boys be killing out these Phoenix Wright streams. A little bit. I like to see you try and explain that one away. Can you do it, Nick? Of course, I can explain all of it. What was that? Please recall the instant that the cloak snagged onto the bus. If the cloak snagged onto the bus, what happened to the white rose? You get it? If the cloak got snagged onto the front of the bus, it means that the white roses would end up on the back of the bus. Aww! Which explains why Mo didn't see them. The white roses were not visible because they were at the backside of the bust. Order! Order! This is quite the shocking state of affairs. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me. However, let's just keep going down the road for a while and see where it leads. Let's do this, Nick. Then maybe Von Karma will finally throw in the towel. Uh-oh. Well, so much for that theory. Mr. Wright, excuse me, Mr. Wright, do you mind? What is it? You took the time to research our circus, didn't you? Well, yes, I did. Is there something making you didn't that I didn't? If you did, then maybe you'll understand why I think you're off track. What is that? Motive. This witness feels incredible debt of gratitude towards Ringmaster. Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this. Thus, there's absolutely no way someone like this would kill the Ringmaster. I think he killed him by accident. Your Honor, I'd like you to hear Acro's story. Learn about his relationship with the Ringmaster and his life up until now. What do? There's no doubting that Acro deeply respected the Ringmaster. Acro's motive, It seems that this case isn't over yet. Very well, however, I feel this is a good place to take a break. I will listen to the rest of Mr. Dingling's testimony after recess. This court will now take a 10-minute recess.
And Phoenix Wright.